Well, they make those lists at the beginning of each, college year, say that these freshmen, as far as they know, this has always existed, or this was always the case.
Right.
So for 20-year-olds, the Rotary Gardens have always been here. Interesting. So some of the things that are most memorable is just the overall recognition that the gardens have gained over the last 5 or 6 years.
Absolutely. And we've never strayed from our mission, which again is to provide for visitors to a nice experience, but we want them to appreciate horticulture and what it can do for them. We want them to learn how to grow vegetables organically. We want them to see neat plant material. But the context of our collections here as a botanic garden, we're displaying a wide range of plants. And I think it's important that we continue to update what we have. We demonstrate appropriate gardening practices. We have very strict chemical use policies here. We're not out there doing a lot of bad things to the environment. We try to avoid that and teach other people to do that. So really pursuing that mission is important, but in the context of our collections, I see us continuing to improve every year. We have to. I think that's vital.
So what's in the future for the Rotary Gardens?
Well, right now we're in the beginnings of really having a real nice interpretation system. We have a brand new laser engraver machine which will allow us to create very professional permanent signage for the majority of our plants. Okay. One of the frustrations for visitors is that not everything is labeled, and it's very difficult to do that. But at this point, we want people to not only enjoy the beauty, but be able to write down what certain plants are. So our interpretation's increasing. That's coming up. And also, I think, again, renovating existing garden areas. We find with our maintenance budget, we're able to maintain what's here, but we're going back to some of the older gardens and doing some serious renovations because of failing infrastructure, needs for new planting. So we never want to be a static garden. We need to be dynamic and continue to improve each year, and that's our goal.
So always improving, always finding the new thing, and you've got the new engraving equipment, so people could know exactly. Oh, it's all covered with signs, but it's going to be different signs. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Actually, with this signage, the intent here is having black metallic signs with white writing, which tend to get lost visually. So for those just viewing a space, they're less noticeable than our current signage, which is white. So the intent is going with a very standard professional type sign that many botanic gardens currently use. And our intent will never be to label everything. We'll try to label the most important things, but we feel that we're constantly struggling with interpretation and keeping track of what we have. I feel there's not a lot of value with plants if I can't tell people what it is, because we need to know as well.
So an important question that this makes me think is you talk about different gardens that are in different signage. What is it that makes Rotary Gardens unique? Do you feel overall in comparison with other gardens in the area or nationally?
Sure. And I will say, and I obviously am partial to the place, and being employed here, it doesn't affect what I'm about to say, but pound for pound, we stack up with any botanic garden I've been to. And I've been to those that have multi-million-dollar budgets, and the fancy ones that are funded through a state agency or a municipality. And I find as a nonprofit, and with our volunteer contingent, it's truly amazing what we've done on 20 acres in such a short amount of time. And, again, I think with what makes us unique is not only how beautiful this garden is, but the fact that that's internationally themed. So instead of being a garden of roses or a garden of a certain style of space, people can come enjoy the English cottage garden or the Japanese garden in which we're sitting, our French formal garden, our fern and moss garden. So these different garden spaces lend themselves to different experiences. And that's one of our most common comments that people mention that they've enjoyed is being able, it's like going into garden rooms. Each space is different in some way, and I think that makes us very unique.
And it opens the door for constant change.
Absolutely, yes.
So what have you learned from your 12 years here?
Oh boy, good question. Certainly a lot about plant material. There's no doubt about that, because I've been given a lot of freedom in the context of our budget, of course, to explore neat plants. I think the important thing that I've realized is to never underestimate the contributions of a community. I can't begin to tell you how important volunteers are here. It's unbelievable, the people that pour their heart and soul into this place. They really get into it. And there's volunteers that have been here 21 years. They were here when it started, including Dr. Yar, our founder. And the other thing I've realized is a lot of it also boils down to dollars and cents. In terms of a garden like this, we're very reliant on donations. We have donated plant material. There's a lot of things that come to us from very kind benefactors, but the reality is being able to be financially stable in a tough time. So bringing in those memberships and those contributions to make sure that we not only maintain the garden, but we improve it. Because again, a static garden is going to get us nowhere. We need to look better every year, and I think we're headed that way.
Excellent. Well, is there something that you'd want to get out to the people that are maybe learning something about the gardens for the first time by watching this?
Mainly come visit. I think it's a great time of year to visit. There's not a bad season. You mentioned we're a 12-month-of-the-year garden. Now, granted, in Wisconsin, our November and December interest starts to segue into the light show, but...
Right, but then you also do a Halloween walk.
We do, right. We have events throughout the course of the year, but I think if visitors, potential visitors, come to the gardens and see what we're doing in terms of education and displays, I think they'll be hooked, and I think they'll become members, and we want people to enjoy it, bring their kids, and since we have a very little marketing budget, we want people to word-of-mouth advertising for us. If they enjoy their experience here, tell their friends, their neighbors, their families, and that trickle-down information is what's brought so many more visitors to us year after year.
Great. Mark, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Yuri.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Discover Janesville. It's a beautiful day at Rotary Gardens. If you haven't been here, you should come down and check it out for yourself. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please email them to discoverjanesville@gmail.com. And remember to check our website at www.discoverjanesville.com. Thank you for watching the show. Take care.